In this video, I'll introduce Path Mode and demonstrate several options for trimming, extending, and splitting profile members. I have this model open with lines along the floor that will be used as a framing plan. For the first profile to use, I'll open the Profile browser, go to the Samples folder, and choose this square tube section. I'll keep the placement point at the center. I have a few materials already in the model, and to make things easier to see, I'll make the columns blue. For the first column, I'll click Build, click this corner to start, and drag up the column 10 feet. Copying this column to the other points would be easier without the column itself showing. So I'll select the column and click Path Mode. This reduces the column display to its path and the profile itself at the center. Now I can select the column and easily locate the copy points. To get the actual columns back, I'll select all of the paths and click Revert Path Mode. For the beams, I'll go back to the Samples folder and choose the W6 section. The color for these beams will be orange, and I'll set the placement point to top middle. I'll also set the junctions to miter joint so that each beam will be created separately. I'll switch the columns back to Path Mode so that the beam points will be easy to see. I'll click Build again, and draw out the beams using the column endpoints. Most of these beams meet at right angles, but one column is offset, so this beam goes off at an angle. I'll select the column paths again and revert Path Mode. Later, I'll fix the intersections at the columns, and I'll cover Path Mode more in depth in a later video. Next, I need to beef up the columns to accommodate the beams. I'll use Get Attributes to reload the column profile properties and click Select Member by Attributes. I'll choose All Properties, Apply, and now all columns are selected. I'll change the profile name to HSS10, increase the dimensions to 10 by 10, and click Edit Member Properties. All properties are still selected, so I'll click Apply to update all of the columns. Now the beams need to be trimmed back to the columns. One way to do this is with the Trim to Face tool, which I introduced in the previous video. For the face to trim to, I'll click this face of this column. Now I can trim these three beams to the same plane. I'll press Escape to reset the trimming. Now click this column face and trim these two beams. I'll keep going to trim all of the beams. Trim to Face works for angled intersections as well, cutting the beams perfectly to meet their columns. Now say I want to add in some joists between beams, along these 6 selected horizontal lines. I'll copy these lines up to the level of the top of the beams and leave the lines selected. I'll go back to the Samples folder and choose this angle section. I'll press the End key to rotate the section, press Home to get the placement point I want, and I'll make the profile yellow. I'll click Build Along Path to create the joists. The joists now need to be trimmed to meet the beams. If I use Trim to Face here, I can only trim to either the web or the flange of the beam. So the tool I want to use instead here is Trim to Solid. Like with the Trim to Face tool, click 1 is the solid to trim to, which is the beam. Then I'll click all 3 angles, which are now trimmed perfectly to the beam. I'll press Escape to reset, and now trim the ends along the angled beam. Now I've noticed that one of these angles is facing the wrong way. So I'll reverse it, and both trimmed ends update correctly. I can also change the profile of one of the joists. I'll find a channel profile, then select this joist and edit its properties. I'll update only its profile. Again, the trims at both ends remain correct. I'll undo to get the angle back. Now I need to trim the joists to the center beam. If I use Trim to Solid on this beam, I'll cut half the joist, where I actually need to split it. So I'll undo and click the Extend or Split tool. I'll click the joist to select it, then before clicking again, I'll tap the Control key, or the Option key on the Mac, to add a split line. Now I'll click along the joist where I want to place the split. Now I have 2 separate joists. I'll repeat this split for the other 2 joists, and use Trim to Solid to fix all 6 intersections. If this diagonal beam needs to come out, and I want to remove the trimmed edges of the joists, I can select the 3 joists, then click Remove Trims. But keep in mind, this tool removes the trims from both ends of the profile members. Next, I'm going to use this wall and molding example to show more about the Extend or Split tool. I can switch to X-ray mode to see the door openings. I'll click Extend or Split and click the wall profile member. Profile Builder needs to know which end will be affected, and the closer end to my mouse appears in bold. I'll click this side. I'll tap Control and click this side of the door. Now I have 2 wall profile members. Now I want to bring this 3-section wall back to the other side of the door. I need to click the wall so that the end I'm moving is bold, then pull it back. I'll use Control to split this wall at the other opening, then move this side of the other wall back. The Split or Extend tool can only work on members that have a start and end, so this closed loop molding can't be split. What I can do is double-click the molding and click Edit Path. The rest of my model is showing, so I can trace a line at the door opening, then erase it. After closing the group, now I can split the molding at the other opening, and move the other end back. In the next video, I'll cover Profile Builder's hole cutting tools.